What is up, everybody? So I know that geometry is a sore spot for so many students, so these are 10 questions you absolutely have to have down for the PSAT, SAT, and ACT geometry, okay? Let's do it. It's really important that you have the 30, 60, 90 triangle down, how to work with it. It's one of the special right triangles. This one says, given one side of an equilateral triangle is 6, what is the area of the triangle? So let's start by drawing out an equilateral triangle. Remember, it's equilateral, so all the sides are equal, and we know that each of these angles is 60. And what does it tell us? That the side is 6, so we can list that for each of the sides. Now it's asking for the area. Remember, area is 1/2 base times height. So here the base would be 6. Let's drop down an altitude to get the height. So if we drop down an altitude here, what's going to happen? We drop this down, and remember, if you're dropping down an altitude in a triangle like this, and here's what I mean by a triangle like this, where these two angles on the sides are equal to each other, you cut the base exactly in half. So now instead of 6, each of these pieces of the base are 3 and 3. Now let's talk about what happened with the angles. So this angle we know is 60. This angle over here, because it's an altitude, we know is 90. Now we just need to deal with these top angles. Now remember, just like it divides the base in half, when you drop an altitude in a triangle like this, where these angles on each side are equal, what you're doing is you're cutting that top angle in half as well. So instead of 60, each of these are now 30. So 30 and 30. Now let's just work with one of these triangles that we've created, one of the smaller ones. Take a look at the angles. It's 30, 60, 90. Now for a 30, 60, 90 triangle, we have a special ratio for the sides. And that ratio is x, x rad 3, and 2x. The x is for the side opposite 30, the x rad 3 is for the side opposite 60, and the 2x is for the side opposite the 90. Now on the SAT, this relationship is actually printed for you at the beginning of every math section. On the ACT, it is not. Now the most important thing is that you know how to apply this ratio. So let's work with it here. Remember, we're looking for the area of the triangle. Area is 1/2 base times height. We know the base is 6, we're looking for the height. Now, remember, because this is x, x rad 3, and 2x, let's list this within the actual triangle that we've been working with. The side opposite 30, that would be x. So x equals 3. The side opposite 90 would be our 2x, and look at that, it makes sense. If x was 3, 2x is 6. So what would our missing side be? That's our x rad 3, the one opposite 60. So if x is 3, what is x rad 3? It's going to be 3, radical 3. So that's going to be our height. Now we can find our area. 1/2 base times height would be 1/2 of 6 times 3 rad 3. Remember, you can combine numbers and numbers, and radicals, but not numbers with radicals. So what would we have here? 1/2 of 6 times 3 rad 3 would be what? 1/2 of 18 rad 3. And then again, we can combine the numbers with the numbers. 1/2 of 18 is just 9, and we're left with 9 rad 3. Answer choice C. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure to watch the rest of the videos in this series to get the help that you need for the PSAT, SAT, and ACT. And make sure to check out our other series. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, because this is obviously the best thing that's ever happened to SAT prep. There we go. And I love it. I think that's the one.